And now to Joburg's first Energy Indaba at the Sandton Convention Centre on the city's future electricity plans and how it will hopefully alleviate and eventually eliminate rolling blackouts is underway. The Indaba comes at a time when the country's economic capital is subjected to crippling rolling blackouts. SABC News reporter, economic reporter Liabo Setho is there, has been for the morning. A very good morning to you, Liabo. Some interesting takes from Douglas Gibson, from Chifularo Mashaba and from the executive mayor. What were your takeaways?
Interesting indeed. What was more telling, Desiree, was that the issue of innovation. The city says it's looking to innovation. It's now not doing things by itself. It's looking to people who have the know-how, people who have the skills, businesses who can help it with alleviating the issue of load shedding. Although they have help from the Kelvin power station of about 10% of load that is coming to their systems, it's still not enough. The executive mayor mentioning that they're looking to private-public partnerships, Desiree, to help resolve the crisis. And it says that they now need practical strategies, new approaches, and it's looking to give offers as well as looking at business proposals. This is why there's also been some businesses who are in the energy spaces who are currently exhibiting here at the Sandton Convention Centre. Later on, I will be speaking to some of them to find out what they are offering to households, what are they offering to the city in order to make this energy crisis somewhat bearable. As you said, we are currently in rolling blackout mode. As I speak to you, there possibly is a family, a household, a business that is currently in darkness and is unable to trade. Think about the businesses, lots of businesses that are in the city of Johannesburg, and how that impacts on the economy of Johannesburg, how that in turn also affects the economy of the country. Some of the things that will be spoken about here is dealing such as how waste to energy can create jobs and how waste can create energy indeed. I've asked Mr. Oliver Chimusoro, who is going to be having a presentation later on about creating green jobs, to come and give us a short snippet of his presentation and how we can use waste energy or convert waste into energy. Mr. Chimusoro, thank you so much for joining us on SABC News channel. You are going to be having a presentation about creating green jobs using waste to energy. I take it we are talking about biogas here. How viable is the solution for the city?
Yes, we in the city of Johannesburg, they are grappling with waste. We normally talk about waste as something that is very bad, but we have come to a point where waste has become the gold of the city, where we can convert waste to electricity. It comes at a good time when we are talking about landfill sites that are being filled, and we are saying in those landfill sites there is landfill gas, and that gas can be turned into electricity. It can be used for heating. We have also seen in some schools where there is waste, and the schools are doing cooking programs for the children, school children. We can convert the waste in the schools to biogas, which is also used for cooking in the schools. So we are at a time when even the executive mayor, Dr. Mpo Palatse, was talking about investing about 26 billion into energy so that we have enough in the city of Johannesburg. I take it from that 26 billion, we are also to look at job creation, and we need to talk about green jobs. And these jobs should be sustainable, they have to be decent, and they are using material that we could have been grappling with, thinking that we are causing diseases, we are going to cause contaminations. So these things, as we go forward, the world is going green and we are going to go green.
I can imagine that you've done an extensive study on this and the viability of it. Can you give us examples, perhaps in other countries, where they're using this biogas method in which it works for them?
Yes. So at times we want to go into the developed world. I've traveled around. you will find that when you go to Germany, you go to the US, their landfill sites are a marvel to watch. They have made a concerted effort to make sure every waste that comes to them is graded, is stored in such a way that there is a high production of landfill gas. So the same applies within South Africa. We have good examples that have started. Some of the issues, I'm going to mention them in my presentation. There is a 3 megawatt plant in city of Tshwane where a company is generating about 3 megawatts and it's being used by BMW. So you see even private sector is taking an active role. So landfill sites are filling up, even in the city of Johannesburg, Robinson Deep. They are already starting to generate electricity out of it. So if we can do more of it, we are going to have an additional energy mix, and we are not going to be talking much about the grappling that we have with ESCOM. So it's a great solution. It can be done locally. There are examples that have been done locally. So we are good to go.
Yeah, Mayor Palat also spoke about innovation, that we are looking for innovation. And I can imagine that there are a lot of people who have an entrepreneurial mindset out there. How can they get into this biogas industry? How can they get started? Where should they start?
So normally when I talk about entrepreneurial process, as I'm seeing school children are around, you want to catch them young. You want to start from there. Let them remove that mindset that I will just be a mechanical engineer. But they need to be green mechanical engineers, green accountants, green journalists, as we say, so that they are talking about a new area that when we are talking about climate change, we are also addressing those issues. So innovation will start with the school children. It has to go to research institutions. Gone are the days that a professor just does lab issues. They need to do innovation that can be implemented into these green innovations that we talk about. So a lot of innovation needs to be brought in. Cooperatives can be made, and if we make cooperatives, they generate their own gas, they are selling it, the livelihood of those people will be enhanced. You see, when you go to Germany, they can generate electricity as a district, and if we can start doing that in South Africa, we will be in a better position as we go forward.
Dr. Oliver Chimosoro, thank you so much for speaking to us. Desiree, that's Dr. Oliver Chimosoro. He's going to be speaking a little later on here at the conference at the Indaba about green jobs and how to turn waste into energy. These are one of the things that the executive mayor spoke about the options that the city is looking at, so that their only option is not the power utility, as it is evident that it is struggling right now. But we will be speaking to more people. In fact, in the next hour or two, I will be catching up with the mayor to find out more about her plans and to probe further about what she spoke about. She also spoke about the issue of cable theft and copper theft, which also impacts and alleviates this problem even worse, because you might have load shedding in its purest form. But once cable theft now occurs, it means that communities spend days, sometimes weeks, or even months without power, simply because the infrastructure is not working, or is not there, or is being stolen. This is all from us from the Sandton Convention Centre for this hour. It's back to you in studio, Desiree.
Liabo Setho, as she says, she will be bringing us developments in the next hour as well.